Good morning. We're going to continue thinking about love in 1 Corinthians 13. And again, as a reminder, verse 4 reads, "Love is patient and kind. Love does not envy or boast. It's not arrogant or rude. Does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable or resentful." We looked at the two positive descriptors. Love is patient and love is kind. Now we begin with the negative. Love does not envy. Love doesn't envy. Love doesn't get jealous. I think there's a couple of things to think about here. Love doesn't first begrudge the smile of God on another. There's something in us that sometimes struggles to celebrate and be happy for others, particularly if there are others who are gaining in an area that we wish we were gaining. At that point, the smile of God on them feels like the frown of God on us, and that's just simply not true and not the case. It shows our over-personalization of things. It shows our insecurity in living in the Father's love. It shows our lack of loving our neighbor and our lack of ability to be other-centered. The Bible tells us in Romans 12 that we are to rejoice with those who rejoice. And of course, we're to mourn with those who mourn. But focus on that idea of rejoicing with those who rejoice. The Lord is the one who blesses. And if the Lord blesses your neighbor, if the Lord blesses your friend, then guess what you need to do? You need to get in line with God's blessing and celebrate it. Get in God's story, in God's way, and celebrate it. Don't begrudge it, and don't be envious of it. Don't want it for yourself. Here's the second point. Even when it's the wicked that are prospering, you need to recognize that it's God who ultimately prospers anyone. So that is even happening by the permission of God. So it's not just about getting on board with rejoicing with someone who you ought to love. It's also the idea of just getting on board with God's story and recognizing that when you begrudge, are jealous, are envious of another, it's a disposition that really is communicating that something is wrong from your vantage point in the story God's writing. And that's not love. So a loving heart rejoices with those who rejoice. And I want to free you to celebrate with other people today. In fact, that's a challenge today. Find someone who something good is happening in their life and just celebrate it. Just celebrate it. Love it. Rejoice over it and thank God for it. And use that as a tool to encourage them. That'll be a loving act on your part. May the Lord bless you today.